The wealthiest people you'll ever meet often don't look wealthy at all. Forget the flashy cars and designer labels. We're talking about individuals who could easily splurge on a Ferrari, but prefer a 10-year-old Toyota, or those who have millions stashed away, yet shop at the same regular stores as everyone else. Their secret isn't in what they show off, but in what's happening behind the scenes. It's about clever investments, disciplined spending, and a long-term mindset that most people simply miss. This isn't just about saving a few bucks. It's about a fundamentally different way of living that silently builds immense financial power. What if the image of rich we've been fed our entire lives is completely wrong? Imagine someone earning an eye-popping salary, yet living paycheck to paycheck, drowning in debt from trying to keep up appearances. Now picture someone with a modest income who, over time, quietly accumulates enough wealth to truly live life on their own terms. This isn't a fluke, it's a deliberate strategy. The truly affluent understand that real wealth isn't a spectacle. It's a silent, powerful force cultivated through habits that fly under the radar. They master the art of disciplined living, turning small, consistent actions into massive financial freedom. But how exactly do they do it? Automation is key. One of the most mind-blowing habits of the quietly wealthy is how they automate nearly everything. They're not sitting there every month wrestling with the decision of whether to save or invest. That internal debate, it simply doesn't happen. Instead, they set up their finances once, then let the systems take over. Every single payday, money automatically flows where it needs to go, straight into savings, investments, and bill payments. This isn't just convenient, it's a psychological cheat code. When money is moved before you even see it, that impulsive urge to spend just vanishes. It removes all the drama and willpower from managing your money, ensuring your wealth builds itself effortlessly. Value over vanity. But that's only the beginning. The quietly wealthy also operate with a strange kind of logic when it comes to spending. They focus relentlessly on value over price. They aren't cheap, but they are incredibly shrewd about every single damn dollar that leaves their pocket. Think about it. They might shell out $200 for a pair of high-quality boots that will last a decade, but they wouldn't dream of blowing $50 on trendy, flimsy shoes that fall apart in 6 months. They'll opt for a reliable used car rather than financing a shiny new one that loses half its value the moment it leaves the lot. This isn't about deprivation. It's about smart allocation, constantly asking themselves, is this truly worth what I'm paying? Instead of, can I afford this right now? This shifts the entire paradigm of consumption from instant gratification to lasting benefit. Net worth, not just income. And what happened next would shock everyone. Most people are completely obsessed with their income, that top-line number on their paycheck. But the quietly wealthy? They care way, way more about their net worth, not just income. Many high earners find themselves in a brutal cycle, making great money, but spending almost all of it to maintain a certain image. They look successful, but their net worth is a big fat zero. Here's the brutal truth. If you earn $100,000 and spend every last cent, while someone else earns $50,000 and invests $15,000 of it, who's actually building real wealth? It's not even a question. The quiet millionaires track their net worth with almost religious zeal, knowing exactly what they own versus what they owe. And their sole focus is watching that number skyrocket over time. This metric, often overlooked, is the true scoreboard of financial freedom. The long game, thinking in decades. But that wasn't the whole story. These financially savvy individuals also operate on an entirely different timeline. They think in decades, not in months. While the average person stresses about next month's bills or a fleeting holiday, the quietly wealthy are strategically plotting where they want to be in 5, 10, even 20 years. They're acutely aware that compound interest, that almost magical force, only works if you give it massive amounts of time to do its thing. They're perfectly content to live modestly now, knowing that every dollar invested today could explode into $5 or $10 in the future. It's difficult to grasp when you're young, but those 20 years will pass anyway. You can either arrive at 45 or 50 with a pile of depreciating stuff you bought in your 20s, or you can arrive with the financial muscle to do literally whatever you want. The choice becomes clear. And this leads us to perhaps the most crucial habit on this list. They have multiple income streams. This doesn't mean juggling 3 side hustles and working 80 hours a week. It simply means ensuring their money is actively working for them, generating returns in various ways. Relying solely on one income source is incredibly risky, like putting all your eggs in a single fragile basket. Quietly wealthy people diversify. Beyond their main job, they're investing in real estate for rental income, holding dividend-paying stocks, or nurturing a small side business. These additional streams, even if seemingly small at first, compound over time, providing unparalleled financial security, peace of mind, and options. If something goes sideways with their primary income, they're not completely screwed. This financial resilience is a hallmark of true wealth. But there's a subtle trap that catches most people off guard, and the quietly wealthy navigate it with surgical precision. They avoid lifestyle inflation. This is the phenomenon where as soon as income rises, spending immediately follows suit. Someone gets a raise, and suddenly they're eating out more, buying nicer clothes, upgrading their watch, or moving to a pricier apartment. Before they know it, that entire raise has vanished into new permanent expenses. The quietly wealthy, for a significant period, keep their lifestyle largely consistent even as their income grows. They might treat themselves occasionally, but they absolutely do not let their spending consume their pay increase. Every lifestyle upgrade is essentially a permanent expense that's incredibly hard to reverse. Avoiding this trap altogether is a masterstroke in wealth building. Respond, don't react. Crisis as opportunity. Finally, and perhaps most tellingly, the quietly wealthy don't react, they respond. Think back to the 2008 financial crisis. Many high-flying investors, heavily indebted businesses, and those living beyond their means were absolutely devastated. They had been taking silly risks, spending like there was no tomorrow, and when the shit hit the fan, everything crumbled. But then there were the quietly wealthy. They didn't panic sell or make frantic, desperate moves. Instead, they took a step back, assessed the bigger picture, trimmed unnecessary expenses, and in some cases even scooped up undervalued assets while everyone else was in full-blown meltdown mode. Their flexibility, mental, emotional, and financial, allowed them to pivot when needed. They weren't in it to impress anyone. They were playing the long game, which granted them the clarity and stability to emerge even stronger on the other side of the recession. Their calm, deliberate response is a testament to their deep-seated financial wisdom. These 7 habits aren't about denying yourself pleasure or living like a hermit. They're about intentionality, foresight, and building a financial fortress that provides genuine freedom and security. If you're ready to stop looking rich and start being rich, embracing even just a few of these quiet habits could fundamentally transform your financial future.